Okay, so do we want to approach JJK? I want to have a mildly serious conversation about JJK, but first I
Okay.
want to get jokes off. So this is just randomly.
First, I want to clown it.
I just saw this is comicbook.com, which of course of course, is the most reliable source for information on the planet. I've never been to
Yeah,
this website before, but trust me, the most reliable source of info on the planet.
you
Says
really got to do
Juju
more
Kaisen
research.
ending explained. And I love
Juju,
this.
Juju Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, they put a T in there. Good.
Yes, 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 yes. And
I was worried.
oh, can I not oh there we go. And this is, and I love this, what you missed in chapter 271. Now,
What did I miss?
I want to say this just because I get it. I understand the YouTube and the internet game. Sometimes we didn't actually miss shit, but I'll roll with them. Okay.
Yeah, what did I miss?
It's finally here.
Uh, are they hyping? Is this a
After,
hype? Is
I
this a
have no
hype
idea.
review?
I've never read this before. I just found
Okay.
this right now and we improving.
Okay.
After 6 years, Jujutsu Kaisen has come to an end. Today, the world watched as
Good.
Jujutsu
Nice Grand
Kaisen.
Line review impersonation.
Today, the world watched as Jujutsu Kaisen 271 went live, and the finale turned its eyes to Yuji Itadori. With Jujutsu Society in an upheaval, everyone's just dead. I mean, kind of. There's like 3 people that are dead that basically reflect the world being in chaos, but fuck it. Don't worry, we got a new character in the last chapter because that's what you're supposed to do. The final chapter of JJK gives us a peek at the future while bidding its past farewell. And in true fashion, the manga loads its last chapter with tons of subtle goodies.
Subtle goodies. I would love to hear that.
Wait a minute,
I like what did they find so good with it? Was it the pervert becoming a hero? Actually, no. In the official, it's less like him going, "Hey, pervert, why don't you come to JJ High?" And less of like, "Hey, when you get your head fixed for being a pervert, come find us."
The series finale comes in at under 25 pages and it begins with a familiar scene. After the war with Sukuna, Yuji and his team are back together. How does it end? After being called into the city, Yuji is brought to face with the fallout of the Culling Games. The city is
Is
filled. So we
Yes,
got that.
yeah.
We did ask. The Culling Games did technically, I don't know how, but
Yeah,
they did technically end.
I don't know what the circumstances were for the ending, but maybe that's just me not paying attention to the 17,000 rules that got added to the nine.
Kenjaku showed up last chapter, and then I don't know what the fuck he did, but he was definitely there and blocked out. And then we're just like, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about this. uh,
Yeah, sure.
a couple find themselves targeted by cursed energy at home, and it doesn't take Megumi long to figure out that a wayward sorcerer is behind the ordeal. He and
Oh my
Yuji
God.
team with Nabara to lock down the rogue, and the Jujutsu Kaisen reunion feels oh so good.
He's yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not a bad take. Uh
As the chapter continues, Yuji unpacks his final chat with Gojo that took place before the Shinjuku Showdown arc. Shinju-
Seems they had a lot of conversations before the Shinjuku arc.
I'm not even going to read the next couple of sentences because she just says the same thing 4 times in a row.
Wow,
Before the final
that sounds about right.
before the final chapter closes, dog.
Okay.
Okay, look. So she literally just says, as the chapter continues, Yuji unpacks talk with Gojo, then does what the rest of us did, which wonders what the fuck was in the middle, because then she goes right to before the final chapter closes. Jujutsu Kaisen takes time to enter the afterlife. See, the person writing the review on chapter 271 who said lot of subtle goodies didn't even give a fuck about the dude that they introduced and said, yo, you made bug eyes and then dipped and you're a pervert. Like
Yeah, he's a
they're writing a
pervert.
review and they literally didn't even include the
I was like, they didn't include the first. Oh, I guess it's the first two-thirds of the chapter, isn't it?
it's
It's the first two. It's the whole chapter.
before the final chapter closes. Jujutsu Kaisen takes time to enter the afterlife, and it is there we reunite with Sukuna. The King of Curses reunites with Yuarame and Mahito there, but things do not go as you might expect. Turning his back on Mahito, Sukuna chooses to go north, much like Gojo did in the afterlife with his friends. So we skipped the convo, we skipped the
Also,
line,
they
we
also aren't talking
skipped
about the other person that's in the afterlife that we don't know anything about.
Sukuna admits he is ready to settle down after being beaten, and we know Gojo felt much the same. So years down the line, perhaps these two souls will make their way back to life. This is why not everyone should be allowed to write stuff on the internet. And
Look,
I'm not
I
going to say
it's
their
kind of
name.
optimistic. It's optimistic.
I'm
It's
not going to
fine.
say their name because I'm not here to. Oh, here we go. As for the final spread, Jujutsu goes hard with a look at its reunited students. Yuta's crew is back together, and the same goes for Hikari plus Yuji. As for the final page, we learn the fate of Sukuna's final finger, the one that Yuji created from his own hand. Okay, I'm glad because I was really fucked up and I don't know if Jake said it right. And I was so depressed I didn't want to go back and look at this story. I was on the same page as you, where I was convinced Yuji made one from his own hand.
Yeah, like Rika had to eat Yuji's other finger
Yeah.
because Yuji loses his pinky and then he loses in the fight with Sukuna and then he loses the ring to feed it to Rika so that they can create another finger.
Okay.
That was how and the fact that we're still trying to math this out.
It's
And,
bad.
and
It's
they
hard.
also, Jake is also full of shit on this too, because he was like, well, I don't understand why he couldn't just reverse curse technique. Look, I read the rule book of JJK because it was the whole fucking chapter. That's not how Rika works. If you want the curse to, there has to be an actual like sacrifice. You can't just like regrow your finger. It nullifies the curse. Uh, unless I'm wrong and I read the rule book wrong, but sure.
This is the most optimistic sentence I've ever heard in my life. Or two sentences, I guess. The
I
relic
hope
is
there's more.
unsealed as it no longer houses Sukuna's soul, and it returns to Yuji's old high school. The finger is meant to act as a deterrent for other low-level curses. So in a strange way, this final page brings Jujutsu Kaisen full circle. The next paragraph starts with, is
Oh,
the
there's
ending of
more?
Jujutsu Kaisen any good?
Oh, okay.
The final chapter of
It is
Jujutsu
a full
Kaisen.
circle chat. It is full circle. I'll give him that.
We started not knowing much and we ended here. The final chapter.
True, true. I'm just as confused as
The final chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen may be short, but it
it's
packs a
20
lot.
page. It's 21 pages, by the way.
But it packs a lot into its pages. This person didn't talk about any of it, but it packs a lot.
It it is not short. It is a 21 page chapter, by the way.
Several big questions were answered.
Were they?
As we learned, Gojo Satoru is very much dead.
I learned that not in this chapter, fool. I learned that a couple chapters ago. I do think it's interesting that Kenjaku gets his head cut off and somehow either him or Geto come back.
But Geto's
And
dead. Geto was up there with Gojo.
yeah,
Like
Geto
Geto
does
was
get
dead.
so it has to be Kenjaku or
Yeah, like
someone else is piloting that body. Like uh and and Gojo got cut in half and it was too much. So I'm like,
what if actually what's your boy's name? The comic. What's his name?
he
Um
reanimated the corpse.
what because you just thought it was so funny. You were just like, yo, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if we just get some sick humor?
Honestly, yeah, because wasn't his power bullshit?
He just had to believe it. Or no, he had to believe it was funny.
Yeah, 100% that's how he comes back. Yeah, that's not even cope. That's literally that's how he came back.
He's like, y'all want to see a sick joke? This ending. Here we go. Um,
I appreciated. Do you want to?
I gotta get this last sentence off, and then
There's more?
there's
Holy shit.
oh yes, we just ended on Gojo is for sure dead. Jujutsu Society is recouping from its war against Sukuna, and after years of being in the shadows, the public has learned about the threat of curses. The road Yuji travels with his friends moving forward will be rough, but he seems optimistic about everything to come. And as for whether chapter 271 is good, well, that's for you to decide. I think we did. We all did.